Hello and welcome to Was It Something I Said? The quotations show that marvels at all the remarkable things that people have said. For instance, Richard Branson once said, "I've made all the money I need to make." But sadly, it seems not all the public appearances. On Richard Ayoade's team tonight is actor and comedian Miles Jupp. And with Mickey Flanagan tonight is my reluctant life partner, Robert Webb. And here to read out our quotations is an actor who once said, "I'm a great worrier, truly, all the time. Worry, worry, worry. Still asking myself, will I ever make it?" Well, if the question was, on to a Channel 4 panel show, the answer is yes. Please welcome actor and star of Game of Thrones, Charles Dance. So, round one is called Threesomes. In this round, we give both teams a series of quotations and ask them to work out which of three people said it. If you want to play along at home, you can do so on Twitter by following @SomethingISaid, or in an exciting breakthrough for interactive technology, you can shout the answers at your TV screen. We can hear you, but we're very professional, so we won't react. The theme of this week's threesome is school days. Can we have the first quotation, please, Charles?
I tended to be scatterbrained. If I was at school and saw a bird outside the window, I wanted to follow it. Once, I jumped off a roof thinking I could fly.
R. Kelly. I don't really know who he is.
No, he's I know, he's a very self-reflective man, a little like Michel de Montaigne.
I don't really know who that is either. I can tell you it's none of the people you've mentioned so far. I'm gonna give you the threesome it might be. So was it actor Sylvester Stallone, author Ian Fleming, or Professor Stephen Hawking?
I don't think it's Sylvester Stallone because it says school. As we all know, he didn't go to school. He sprang fully formed from a block of solid rubber.
That's no way to talk about his mother.
I think it's not Hawking, because I've always... I mean, he's quite scientific, isn't he?
I think it is Hawking because he was thinking about the universe the whole time, and he's like black holes and everything. He's basically a Time Lord, and he's got a lot of stuff going through his mind, and it's very difficult to expect him to concentrate on the formation of an oxbow lake. And he might just, you know, he might have been a bit scatty at school.
You think it happened during geography?
Yes.
I can give you a clue. This person was bullied at school.
Ah, Stallone.
You think it's Stallone?
Yeah, because this is what it's all about. The bullying led to...
Oh, I can't wait to be Rocky. Yeah. Oh, I wish I was Rocky. Yeah. I won't do that if I'm Rocky.
They drew first blood! They drew first blood!
You're going Stallone?
We're going Stallone.
Yeah.
And Richard and Miles?
I think Ian Fleming is more likely.
We won't provide reasons.
You refuse to give reasons?
I refuse reasons.
Well, the answer is Sylvester Stallone. So... And he did. He just jumped off the roof holding an umbrella as a sort of parachute.
Because he's thick as shit.
Yeah. Do you know what other safety precaution he took? He was wearing a superhero costume under his school uniform. And do you know what he was voted at junior high school?
Most likely to end up in a montage.
No, they weren't that sensible. According to Stallone, he said, "When I was in junior high school, the teachers voted me the student most likely to end up in the electric chair."
Only in America would that be a category.
Yeah. OK, Charles, can we have our next quotation on the subject of school days, please?
My attitude at the time, an attitude of complete boredom and feeling that nothing was worth making an effort for.
So whose attitude was one of complete boredom? Was it Stallone, Fleming or Hawking?
David, can I point something out?
Yeah.
It's that boredom doesn't have an E in, which would make me think of Sylvester Stallone. Is that part of the quote, or is that...
That spelling is a correct quotation.
OK, Stallone, final answer.
This sort of sounds like a mission statement for Tower Hamlets Council.
Isn't that their crest?
The person that said this also said, in the end, I did learn to read, but not until the fairly late age of 8.
Sir Ian Fleming, final answer.
Well,
final answer, David.
I will say you are devaluing the words final answers.
No, because each time I say it, it is final.
Final answer,
Yes.
Ian Fleming.
It's Fleming because it's pompous. An attitude of complete boredom. I mean, he would have, you know, it's a little bit...
Nit, 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 nit.
I don't like Ian Fleming.
Nit, 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 nit.
Nit, 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 nit.
Yeah.
Bond got out of his car.
You're both going Ian Fleming. Well, the answer is Professor Stephen Hawking. Don't boo the professor. The glaring spelling mistakes in many of Stephen Hawking's quotes, including the misspelling of boredom, are deliberate and aid pronunciation by his speech synthesizer. So that explains that. So that's the end of the round, and a quick look at the scores tells me that Mickey and Robert are in the lead.
Can I ask Charles something? Charles?
Yes.
You were in For Your Eyes Only, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Yes, great lap dancing club, really. The Southampton one is fantastic.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
But when you were in For Your Eyes Only, was it amazing fun to be in a Bond film, or was it just like another job?
I had one line, which the director wanted to cut, and Roger Moore, bless him, said, no, you can't cut the line. It's very important. He said, all right, Charles, you hang on to the line, Charles. And he kind of resented me for the rest of the film. You're having to restore my line, I think.
And now Charles wants to say his line. All right, come on. Can you remember your line?
Yes, get in.
Continuing our theme of quotations, the next round is called Keywords. We give our panellists a few keywords from a famous quotation and ask them to work out the whole quote. So, basically, you'll only get about one word in 4. A bit like listening to digital radio in Cornwall. The team that gets nearest the actual wording scores the points. Now, this is from a quotation by Martin Luther King Jr. As the first clue, please could you give the keywords, Charles?
Have and dream.
OK, we all know he said, I have a dream, but what did he say after that?
I have a dream most nights.
I have a dream I can never remember them.
Yeah.
I know they're really weird, but I can never remember them.
I think there should be a thing you can do in life where when people start telling you their dreams, you just go...
It would have slightly marred that occasion, though, wouldn't it?
I think the response...
After the massive... I went, Martin.
I don't want to say about it.
Response. I don't care if there's an alligator in it. I'm sure it was breathing.
Well, I'm going to give you one more word. Charles, can we have another word from the speech, please?
Children.
Children.
I have a dream, children won't be allowed in the pub after 6 o'clock. I have a dream they won't be allowed on long-haul flights.
These are all good guesses. I'm going to push you for an answer each. What you have to do is say your closest go, each team, and then the one that gets closest, I'll give a point to. And if you're both really close, I'll give you both a point. And if neither of you are at all close, I won't give either of you a point.
Well,
but they're both getting a point, neither are getting a point. That's essentially, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's if one gets a point and the other doesn't, that's when it gets... And I don't think I'm using hyperbole when I say fucking exciting.
Yeah. You're in business, then.
I think Rob knows.
It's something like, I have a dream that one day the black children and the white children of America will sit down in a classroom together and a person will be judged not by the colour of his skin but by the content of his character. And then he said loads of other stuff.
He said loads of other things.
Before and after.
What's your pitch?
That.
Yeah.
With the addition of, because this is the bit I remember, it's 4 children, because I thought, oh, he's managing to get a lot done and cope with the childcare. Because 4 children, that's no picnic.
I think I'm tremendously impressed. Charles, can you give us the full quotation, please?
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the colour of their skin, but by the content of their character.
I think basically you all worked as a team, like Martin Luther King's 4 little children. And so I'm going to give you all a point. So well done.
Thank you.
So, at the end of that round, Mickey and Robert are in the lead. Over the break, see if you can complete this quotation from Vegas entertainers Siegfried and Roy. If you live with 58 lions and tigers, then you will... what? Tweet your answer to @SomethingIsaid, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to Was It Something I Said? Before the break, we asked you to complete this quotation from Siegfried and Roy. If you live with 58 lions and tigers, then you will... what?
Wish you'd stopped at 3.
You spend a lot of time
In
opening
hospital.
great big fucking tins. Oh, yes. All right.
It's difficult to go on holiday. It becomes more difficult. Oh, I'm off to Tenerife. Yeah, the house is free. Yeah. I'd love you to sit. There's one catch that has been putting some people off. Can you look after 58 lions and tigers?
Didn't one of them try to eat one of them?
One of them got a little bit, you know...
Killed?
No, not killed. No.
Just
but
maimed?
I think maimed, yes.
Ah.
Very, very, very badly
Can't win 'em all,
maimed.
can you?
Well, what Siegfried and Roy actually said was, if you live with 58 lions and tigers, then you will always have a lot of pussy in the house. And I think we can agree that that sentence is more regrettable than the mauling of Roy. So, Charles, in the opening scene of Game of Thrones, you skinned a deer.
I did indeed.
Were you taught how, or did you just improvise?
I was taught how.
And is there more than one way, or is it not like a cat?
No, there's really only one way.
Right. How?
The producers came to me 2 days before. This was a new scene. And they came and said, are you vegetarian, Charles? And I said, no. Why? And they gave me this scene, and we did it. Yeah.
And are you a vegetarian now?
No, I'm not. And I was hoping they would give me a nice kind of leg of venison to take back. I didn't even get an ear.
It's now time for the round called What Are They Talking About?, in which you'll hear a quote of someone talking about something, and you have to work out, you've guessed it, their star sign. Oh, no, wait, you haven't guessed it. You have to work out what they're talking about. Here's one from American World War II General Patton.
It may not sound nice to some bunch of little old ladies at an afternoon tea party.
So what is he talking about?
I don't know why everyone worries about upsetting little old lady. Well, also, it's always a little old lady. Some of them are right slags, I tell you. Yeah, I used to work in a factory, and this old girl come up to me. She went, "You know, you lot, you all talk about sucking cock all the time. We used to suck cock." When an air raid comes over, you get on your hands and your knees and you get on with it. And you
Carry on.
I think that's what they call oral history, isn't it?
I've got a sort of image of Mickey's grandmother saying, you can tell that story, but can you say that it was at work or something?
Is it about war? That war may not sound nice to old ladies when they're trying to have a cup of tea.
You're on the right lines.
I know he said something about, we're going to get over and kill these Germans, because if you don't, they'll beat you to death with a sock full of shit. That's what he said.
Did once
and
say
if I was an old lady and I heard that, I'd be, ooh, language.
Yeah.
There's no need for that, General.
Well, I think I have to give Mickey and Robert the point. Well, Charles, can we have the full quotation, please?
When I want my men to remember something important, to really make it stick, I give it to them double dirty. It may not sound nice to some bunch of little old ladies at an afternoon tea party, but it helps my soldiers to remember. You can't run an army without profanity.
Patton was talking about his copious profanity when motivating his men. It was Patton's devotion to military profanity which caused him to petition so passionately to end the war by dropping the C-bomb on Japan. Do you want to hear some more of Patton's remarks? You were absolutely right, Mickey, that he said a man has to be alert all the time if he expects to keep on breathing. If not, some German son of a bitch will sneak up behind him and beat him to death with a sock full of shit.
How long do you think it would take to kill someone with a sock of shit? I think they'd end up going, could you go and get something a bit heavier, please?
I don't think you have that option. When someone's chosen that particularly sadistic form of execution, you just have to wait. It might take years. It might be some infection caused by the shit that gets you at the end, rather than the impact of the sock. So that's the end of the round, and a quick look at the scores tells me that Mickey and Robert are in the lead. Our next round is the Was It Something I Said round, in which each team has to work out who said the following quotations. It'll be from someone on the show tonight, or our virtual guest, Mike Tyson. I'm afraid he can't be with us tonight, although not half as afraid as I would be if he could. So first up is Mickey's team. Who said the following? Was it Richard, Miles, Charles, me, or someone we'd rather not be mistaken for, Mike Tyson?
I had a letter from the father of my then-girlfriend forbidding me to see his daughter ever again. It was horrendous.
I don't think it's Mike Tyson. I don't think he would think it was horrendous.
Yeah.
I think he'd just go around and bite the man's ear off. Definitely not yourself. I know David has a couple of then-girlfriends, but I can't imagine either of their fathers forbidding you from doing anything, really.
No.
I think this is erring towards Charles. It's the sort of thing he would say.
Forbidding is a little bit old school. Well, I'm just that, you know... Obviously, you know, our father...
It's all right, Charles.
Yeah.
Of a generation where our fathers were all hippies, whereas the father of a young lady you might be dating would have been from the 30s. The father of. No, I'm not saying you're from the 30s. Jesus.
What are you saying, Charles?
I think we're going to go for Charles. I had a letter from the father of my then-girlfriend forbidding me to see his daughter ever again.
Boris Johnson isn't one of the options.
It's beautifully constructed. I had a letter from the father of my then-girlfriend forbidding me to see... It's Charles.
It's Charles.
Yeah.
It is Charles.
Yeah. Hooray!
What was the story there, Charles?
I and a group of people gate crashed a party. I don't know, when I was about 18 or 19, and I was arrested for unruly behaviour likely to cause a breach of the peace, Section 5 of the Public Order Act 1936. And I was arraigned before the magistrate, and a piece appeared in the local newspaper. And the father of my then-girlfriend wrote to me and said, I forbid you to see or attempt to contact my daughter ever again.
That's like, you know, Bertie Wooster type of disgrace, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I dropped all my cards. Oh. Sorry.
He got down really well there. Well done, Charles.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Very on time.
Thank you.
So So next up, it's Richard's team. Who said the following? Was it Mickey, Robert, Charles, me, or Mike Tyson?
My first proper kiss was from Cara Shucksmith when I was 13 or 14.
Cara Shucksmith.
One member of the opposite team looks quite bashful about this. My gut instinct is this is Robert.
Do you think Charles would remember that it was...
I doubt it was as late as 13 or 14.
I was
Mr.
7.
Charles Dance, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
It would have been...
The first time I stayed the night, I was 8.
She was 20. This is clear.
Cara Shucksmith?
Can I have the first of your final answers, please?
I think it's Robert.
Well, you're absolutely right. It was Robert Webb. What are you going to say for yourself?
Well, it was her idea. Yes, there was she had a party. Her dad used to run a pub, and he closed the pub for the night and lets these children come to play. And her older sister showed us how we were supposed to... she was supposed to put her hands there, and I put my hands there, and that's how you do a slow dance. And then some kissing started.
Oh, that's fine. Wish that had ever happened to me.
I wish you'd have been her. That saved a lot of time.
Well, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for, and a quick look at the scores tells me this week's winners are Mickey and Robert. Thank you to Mickey and Robert, Richard and Miles, and to our guest narrator, Charles Dance. And we leave you with some lines by T.S. Eliot. What we call the beginning is often the end, and to make an end is to make a beginning. With which in mind, it only remains for me to say, welcome to the show, good night.